Joining me in studio kama kawa ni Philip Murutu kutoka upande wa Chemi Chemi, anaitwa fanya mambo kinos ndani ya studio. Good morning.
A very good morning.
How was your weekend, gentlemen?
Not bad.
Busy. Yes.
It was a good weekend.
Your design. Fanya mambo, do you normally like meet your people over the weekends?
Mimi weekend mush in the ground. If you look at my Facebook page on Monday nakuanga busy sana. Because I float photos of myself. Nikiwa ground, nikiwa nimemeet watu wangu. Sometimes wananikalisha chini, wananiambia hata kama ukunywi Moratina shika hii pembe. Kana sisi. Rohia. So we sit, we talk. I mean, it's usually something I look forward to.
Amazing. Ground inasemaje? Manake kumekuwa na the continuous voter registration drive. Lakini tunaona ni kama people are not showing up as expected. Nafanya mambo, you're the one who was telling the younger people that ballot ndio italeta the change that we want. Yet the voter registration exercise haija kick off venye ilikuwa inatarajiwa na IBC.
Kwanza nataka kura mwenyewe.
Yeye mwenyewe anataka kura.
Kuna watu mlikuwa mnani promise kwa mtandao. Mnasema fanya mambo, I'm changing my vote for you. I'm coming to Dagoretti South. We have seen your video, you've spoken about SHA, you've spoken about this. Fanya mambo, we are coming to vote for you. My request is this, the time is now. Kujeni pale Kawangware, kuna mahali kunaitwa Maisha Poa Center. If you Google on your phone, utapata Maisha Poa Center. Just come, pick your vote, and you know what? Itakuwa a good chance for you to make Fanya Mambo Member of Parliament for the Great South. But secondly, kuna shida na hii voter registration. You see, our constituencies, the way they look, they are not small. Kama kwetu, they have made this continuous voter registration only happening at the constituency headquarters. Now, constituency headquarters for example, Dagoretti South, and then to the farthest part of Dagoretti South, which is Motoine Ward and Uthiru Rudhimitu, if a young person was to come and go back home, they'll need at least 150 shillings one way and another 150 shillings the other way. That's 300 bob. Watu wengi hawana hiyo pesa. If IEBC is serious about this continuous voter registration, they can have one clerk going to at least every polling station. Kama wameshindwa hivyo, they look for the churches that have got the highest number of people. They set up a desk at those churches on Sunday. So what they are doing is not a voter registration, is an anti-voter registration drive. Because some constituencies, look at some of the constituencies in Ukambani and their sheer size. Ukiambo ina happen at the constituency headquarters. Some wards in this country are bigger than some of the constituencies we have in Nairobi. So ukiambua atika sasa uende constituency headquarters ukachukulie voters card huko, it becomes an expense that many young people
so it limits people.
There's a limitation. So IBC must make sure that these voters cards are being collected as close as possible to the people. And I urge them to start having a collaboration with churches and mosques. Kama ni Friday wanatafuta zile mosques ziko karibu na watu, ama kama ni Sunday wanatafuta ile mosque iko karibu na church iko karibu na watu na ziko na watu wengi. Set up a desk there and let people register. I think they can change and say weekday they can have it at the constituency center, but on Sundays they identify a few churches in all the wards that have got a high population or shopping centers with the highest population, because all you need is a desk literally, and just do it so that people can register.
For instance, in Lamu, for the first 1 week, only one person registered. In Lamu constituency, I think. Kitu kama hiyo. What's your take on that?
I've also had complaints around Nairobi because I know of some legislators who are out mobilizing and ensuring people register. But when you look at what IEBC gives out at the end of the day, it doesn't tally, doesn't match what those guys have mobilized in a day to go register. So it is possible, or whatever, I don't know the mechanism of compilation they're using that disconnects them from the real figures that are on the ground. But you see, those are the flaws that some of the flaws that a Kenyan would begin asking questions, because they say elections is a process. It begins from right this point where we're preparing for the actual voting, you know.
Yeah.
So if we get it wrong in the registration phase, it means there are so many things that we are not prepared for when time is of essence. Time is running.
Yeah.
To speak of the registration itself, you know, there's some kind of enthusiasm that the government exhibits when pushing for some things that I would wish they borrow the enthusiasm into this exercise. For instance, you remember when they began popularizing SHA and asking Kenyans to register, they went on a frenzy. I remember all burials, all weddings, any gathering that you would imagine, they had a tent. They would ensure there's a tent in such gathering, for SHA registration. You see the kind of energy that is the challenge I want to throw their way.
Yeah.
If they are serious about wanting more Kenyans to get on board and exercise their democratic right of voting when that time comes, then the same energy they put in some of these things they push for, whether in a pesa or in a pesa, in fact this one is also as important because they are looking to get into power or retain power, and they have an opportunity to get more voters. You know, if I come to you and facilitate you, there's a likelihood that that person you're helping will see that you really mean well for this country to the extent that you are helping them go register, and probably they will start looking at you in a different light. I'm not saying that that is what people will do to leaders, but maybe. So the same energy they have shown in things like SHA and empowerments. You see how they gather mammoth crowds during these empowerments. Those are opportunities for them to help IEBC achieve the numbers they are talking about. They say when elections come, we go to vote in new leaders, but we don't go to vote out. So we simply go to vote in those that we think are better. And that cannot happen if we do not achieve whatever we intend to. I've seen some young people on the internet, on social media, just demonstrating how frustrating the process is, or rather, like Fanyamambo says, the places that have been availed for this exercise are so scattered. For a young person who is on the go, who wants to finish and move on to the next thing, it proves very, very hectic for them to even dedicate time to move around inquiring where they will register. Simple information as to where this person can register is a problem.
Do you think we're going to see the numbers increasing as we approach the 2027 elections?
You know, I was listening to Duale sometime, and the way they were saying that Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera and Marsabit are going to be the new Tharaka-Nithis. And I'm looking at the figures. Garissa 160 registered, Wajir 183, Mandera 218.
Those are individuals.
Yeah. Na Tharaka-Nithi yenyewe. By the way, Kindiki, what's happening to your people? In Tharaka-Nithi, we only had 24 people who registered.
Over the last 1 week?
Over the last 1 week. So, as in Kenyans, we are not doing well, and let us not wait for last minute. By the way, unaweza kuta the last 2 days, queues ziko mrefu, alafu watu wanaanza kusema we want an extension. So I think we are pleading with people, we are requesting you, this is a very, very important exercise.
Okay.
We cannot overemphasize it. Tafadhali, kama hujachukua kura, if it is possible, if it is a place you can access, go. But in the meantime, IBC also make effort to make it even closer to the people.
RiggyG is saying Uhuru was from the past. I'm the present and the future when it comes to Murima. And yet, they need to be united. It also calls for united opposition. How possible is it that the leaders from the opposition are going to unite to form one amazing force to actually go head-to-head with the current president come 2027?
You see, we don't have a problem with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta as such. In fact, we don't fight him. But I wish to take you back and remind you when there was a bishop being coronated in Embu, and the whole mountain was yearning for Uhuru. You remember RiggyG had just been impeached. Alikuwa amevaa viatu na alikuwa na kanyanga matope when the others were on red carpet.
He didn't show up.
No, people were begging Uhuru. They literally were telling him, show us the way. Show us where to go. We are willing to follow you. We shall go with you wherever you lead us. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta did not talk to the people of the mountain. Actually, he went home, and then 2 months later, We saw William Ruto at Ishaweri. He had gone to shake hands with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And then half of Uhuru's former cabinet, very many people, joined this government. I think 4 yeses. So when they joined this government, the people of the mountain were asking, is Uhuru telling us that he wants us to join the government? And the people kept asking him, people kept probing him, but he kept quiet. Actually, after that, he left for the US, and for like 6 to 7 months, we didn't know where he was. He was a no-show. So what do the people of the mountain do? They hate a vacuum. They tell RiggyG, they started going to Amunyoro. In fact, he was at home. He had decided he's retiring. They started pushing him. They told him, come out. Long story short, he goes out. He starts going around and people tell him, come up with a party. Uhuru is still quiet. RiggyG goes and says we are going to have a party. In fact, the media got tired and they started telling RiggyG, we kila siku unaambia unakuja na chama. So by the time he brought the party, Uhuru was still alive. He was still aware that RiggyG is trying to form a party. Nothing happened. So RiggyG forms a party. He starts popularizing the party. He popularizes it within the mountain. Uhuru is quiet. He goes ahead, sasa anaanza kuingia Eastern kwa Wakamba, Uhuru is quiet. He takes it all the way to Mombasa, Uhuru is quiet. He goes to Western, Uhuru is quiet. Wanazungumza mpaka Kitale, Uhuru is quiet. Now when DCP has gotten an office, it has gotten structures, people have joined DCP, people from within the mountain, they are saying this is their new party, Jubilee inafufuliwa. And then they start saying that DCP is a tribal party. So we ask ourselves, surely Jubilee hata kama hatutaki kuwapiga, you are our sisters. How can a party that is not able to hold even one rally anywhere, because we are looking for Jubilee that has happened anywhere, come and tell a party that has held rallies in the whole of Mount Kenya, the whole of Meru, the whole of, Nakuru, the whole of Western, they've held rallies in Mombasa, they've held rallies in the whole of Ukambani, they are planning rallies for Isiolo and every other place. They were even fielding a candidate in Banisa, we are fielding a candidate in Kwale. We are being told that this is a tribal outfit by people who've not been able to hold one mukutano somewhere, a rally, and to tell people what they stand for and who they are. So we don't want to fight Jubilee, but I think it's uncalled for. The attacks on DCP are uncalled for. Leave us alone. You go do your thing, whoever you are. Sisi hatutakuja kusumbuana na nyinyi.
I would understand the silence that was exhibited by the retired president, Uhuru Kenyatta. One, there's if you are not sure you have something to say,
you'd rather shut up.
Yeah, you'd rather shut up unless you want people to take it out of context because you are not prepared or you did not think through what you want to say, for the excitement or for the pressure that we want you to speak. That aside, Jubilee was battling court cases as well. And by the time they organized whatever meeting they had the other day, they had gotten some reprieve. Again, I would understand why they took a law on matters politics. I know Fanyamambo won't agree with that, but that is according to me. But again, I want to agree with the statement as was put by RiggyG kwamba Uhuru is in the past na yeye ndio the present and the future, in the sense that right now Uhuru Kenyatta cannot vie for presidency again under this constitution unless something is done. He can't. So to that extent, that is very true. But just like they were yearning for his guidance, he thinks time is nigh, the time is ripe, and he's coming out with reorganizing his house in the name of Jubilee, and trying to speak what he thinks, and there are people who listen to him. In as much as Fanyamambo would want to say awachane na wao nini, but I know there is a section of Mount Kenya people who still consider Uhuru Kenyatta a very serious and important political leader in the region. So how they balance that now, and when you speak about opposition, we are not limited pale Mlimani. We are speaking about kina Matiangis of this world who come from Nyanza. We are speaking about kina Wamalwa, kina DAPK who come from Western. We are speaking about kina Kalonzo who come from Eastern, and every other person that is in this fold. If they will be able to put up a fight and remain united and make sense for Kenyans in 2027, it is a very possible thing. Very, very possible. The only mistake that will happen to them is things like what now Fanyamambo is saying, kwamba Uhuru awachane na sisi. Instead of saying, Uhuru, we hear you, we appreciate you, Jubilee was a ruling party. KANU has never died, paka leo iko na candidate Baringo. Na KANU ni ya kitambo kushinda Jubilee. So those that are saying Jubilee is dead and it should allow, it has no end, it has no fire.
And future.
And future it should allow. You know, I think that is neither here or there. Neither here or there. They should now say, okay, we have Jubilee that has been in existence. How can we speak in one language and ensure that what we fear, that will be the division in the mountain and coasters in 2027, does not happen? Instead of now saying, your time is up, we are the present. You know, I think that is what will keep them together. Make us understand.
Since DCP was created, they never woke up one day and attacked Jubilee on anything. We have been consistent in our messaging. William Samoei Ruto is our problem. DCP has always fought against William Ruto. And we have been very clear. Sasa ile shida tuko nayo ni watu wengine wakiamuka na chama zao wanakuja kutupiga sisi. We are asking them, what is wrong with you? Sisi, we had the mouth. We knew you existed. We know your party is red. It has a dove. We know how to mention Jubilee if we wanted to mention Jubilee.
We steered clear.
But we steered clear of mentioning Jubilee. So what we are saying when we say we want the right to be left alone is that why are you attacking us and we never attack you? And then I saw some other people. The other day, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, when he came, and this needs to be very clear, he came and spoke about Linda Mama. He came and spoke about those things that he had done with his administration. Rigathi Gachagua never answered him on Linda Mama. Kalonzo Musyoka never answered him on Linda Mama. Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa, all the people within the united opposition never answered Uhuru Muigai on Linda Mama. Oscar Sudi answered Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta on Linda Mama. The deputy president answered him. Ruto himself answered him. And a few other confused UDA fellas. They answered Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta on what he said about Linda Mama. But watch what happens. Tumutu fulani, and I'm not accusing the people who support Matiang'i. Matiang'i has a good support base. And then we have some fools who pretend to support Matiang'i. Hao ndio wanakuja, badala ya kuattack Oscar Sudi, mwenye ameongea juu ya Linda Mama, wana-attack Rigathi. Badala ya kuattack Kindiki, mwenye ameongea juu ya Linda Mama kutukana Uhuru, wanakuja wana-attack Kalonzo Musyoka na Martha Karua na Eugene Wamalwa. People who said nothing back to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta when he spoke about Linda Mama. So tunakuja tunajiuliza, kama wewe unajifanya uko opposition, why are you not attacking Oscar Sudi? Why are you not attacking deputy president? Wanajifanya wanajificha na Matiang'i. That's the problem we have. By the way, we accept that there are few people who support Matiang'i genuinely.
Yeah.
And then we have some confused government fellas who pretend to support Matiang'i, yet they don't support Matiang'i. And those are the people who wanasikia Kindiki ndio ameongea kuhusu Linda Mama. Badala ya kujibu Kindiki, wanakuja kutukana Martha Karua na Kalonzo Musyoka. You ask them, what is wrong with your heads? The spellings of these people's names are very different. They are not the same. So if you are a supporter of Matiang'i, support Matiang'i. But if you are a government sympathizer, stop pretending and hiding behind Matiang'i. Unajifanya, tuna support Matiang'i, yet you are a government sympathizer. Wewe sema una support UDA, hakuna shida. Sema una support Ruto, hakuna shida. Sisi we shall accept that. What we don't want is hypocrites in our politics. Kama wewe una support Matiang'i, sema una support Matiang'i. Kama wewe unajificha na Matiang'i but you are supporting the government, we have a problem with you. And if you want to know them, if Uhuru says something and Sudi attacks Uhuru, they never reply to Sudi. They always look for a way to find a way to attack Kalonzo Musyoka. Those are the people we are putting on notice. So sisi have to fight Jubilee. We are just wondering why a party would resurge, wake up tomorrow morning, and then after it is formed, the first people you attack is DCP. Then DCP is asking you, wait a minute. Sisi mumetuuliza nini? Hatujai wapiga, hatunanga shida na nyinyi, amujai tuona kwenyu.
Fanyamambo, CORD was a united front. We had NASA, which was a united front. We had Azimio La Umoja, which was a united front. Yet they lost the elections. even if they unite this time around, what's going to be different?
It is not necessarily the united opposition that wins elections. It is the desire, it is the will, it is the thirst for power that will win you the election. What you realize in Azimio is like these people didn't want the presidency. William Ruto wanted to be president. William Ruto worked so hard to be president. William Ruto was there to the last minute. Sisi Azimio hata agents hatukuwa na wao. Sisi Azimio hata zikihesabuwa bomas unaona watu hawako serious. Azimio was not serious about taking over the presidency. Now we have a person in the name of RiggyG, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa and Martha Karua who are serious and desirous of taking up the presidency. And they are saying we want to work with people who are serious and desirous of taking up the presidency. So sometimes it's not about being united in laziness. Because there are some people, because NASA, Azimio, which I was part of, was united in laziness. Their campaigns were wishy-washy. They were not serious. They were not having agents. They were, hata kwa polling station tunafika asubuhi, imefika 9:30 a.m. Ndivyo agents wa Azimio a few wanaanza kuonekana. What do you think has happened from 6 in the morning to 9:30 in the morning? At night, hakuna. So uniting is one thing. But being desirous of taking up the presidency is another thing.
Yeah.
And we need people who have fire in the belly. Kuna kitu RiggyG alisema the other day on Friday. Alisema there are 5 ways to win the presidency or MP or MCA.
1.
Ground. 2. Ground. 3. Ground. 4. Ground. 5. Ground.
Yeah.
Now, anybody sitting anywhere and imagining that there is any other formula. Mimi nimekwambia Dagoretti nashindanga ground weekend. I have, and sometimes even weekdays jioni naenda matanga naenda, because I know the secret in the ground. TV by day and radio are good, but they are not everything. Now, we have people who have not been able. Niliona kamtu kengine kako chama sijui inaitwa PNU akanatutukana hapa. Ati anasema Matiang'i will be president. It's fine. Unamuuliza wewe hii chama yako. Show us one meeting PNU has held on the ground. Show us one meeting your party has gone. By the way wanakuja wanasema RiggyG is tribal, RiggyG ni Mkikuyu, RiggyG anaendanga tu kwa mlima. Wewe unamuuliza, sisi tumepeleka DCP the whole of the mountain. Tumeipeleka the whole of Ukambani. Tumeipeleka the whole of Coast region. By the way tumebakisha Kwale peke yake. Tumeipeleka Western. We are planning to take it to Kisii and all the other parts of the country. Nyinyi mko na kachama hakajai hold meeting hata hapa Nairobi. By the DCP we also had very many rallies in Nairobi.
Yes.
Hakajai hold meeting hata kwa town hall umfungamano. And you are busy saying RiggyG is a tribal mobilizer. We are asking you, wewe si mobilize hata youth. Mobilize hata women group. Enda hata kwa chama ya wamama tukuone ulienda kwa chama ya mama tusemange chama yako inenanga kwa chama ya wamama.
Yes.
So before you start telling us rubbish, can you show us what you can do as an individual? Some of those people castigating us, I think the only people who should be able to castigate us are people who are in thin government. Because within government at least tunaonanga Ruto hata kama hatumpendi anazurura kila mahali na pesa yetu. Na hata kama anamobilize na pesa yetu at least anazurura kila mahali.
Go ground.
But a party that has never even left its own party offices. Hata hapa ufungamano you're not able to hold a meeting. What are you telling us? Can you shut up? Enda kwanza ufanye meetings soko moja tuone. Then we see you, then we can have a conversation. So we are not a tribal outfit. Because Kakamega is not Kikuyu speaking. We are not a tribal outfit because Mombasa is not Kikuyu speaking. The whole of Ukambani is not Kikuyu speaking. The whole of all these other places we've been going to are not Kikuyu speaking. When we go to Nakuru, is Nakuru a Kikuyu place? Nakuru is cosmopolitan. Look at the people who are elected there. We even have a Kisii MP. So Nairobi, where we've been having meetings, Kamukunji, we've been having meetings in Dagoretti. Before those people who come to attack us and tell us rubbish, tuonyeshe yako kachama kenyu. We don't even know who your officials are. Some of these people who are making noise at us. So go and put your house in order, then come. We are willing to work with people. The only time, if you see us speaking, we are not fighting. We are just reacting to their nonsense. And sometimes, ni mtu wako uko chini, hata ajulikani, hata tujui kala za pati yao. We are struggling to reach down to them. Muna tuchosha, si tunaenda juu, tunahave sasa kuinama, tupige magoti, tuende uko chini, tukuvute juu, we make you famous. No, we don't want that work.
Mruto.
They should now minimize the squabbles because they have been organizing themselves for far too long.
Yeah.
Now it is time to reduce the squabbles and look like they are getting it towards the target. Kama ni one term, as they say, they are getting it towards the one term. Bado sahi they are targeting each other.
Okay.
That is what the united opposition should look like now.
Amazing. Na baba ako wapi?
I don't know who told you it's a nice thing to be the bearer of bad news. Do you know how many times they killed Nyachae before he died?
Yeah.
They killed Kibaki so many times before he
Biwott.
died.
Hata Moi.
They killed Biwott. They killed Moi. Kwanza Moi walikuwa wanakaa wanagesa amekufa, wanaeka amekufa. Kenyans, please. There is no heroism in being the bearer of bad news. By then, asijaiona mtu akiwa in a rush to post good news. Everybody, hey, so and so is dead. Come on, grow up. Let's tell Kenyans to grow up. When Baba is unwell, let us wait for the family. If the family tells us Baba is unwell, he's unwell. If they tell us he's in critical condition, he's in critical condition. If they tell us Baba is okay, Baba is okay. Okay? Hii upuzi ya kuwa the first one to post unverified news ati unasema sijui baba umeonekana wapi, sijui mnaanza kutuonyesha picha za mochari. Wewe si uende uweke baba yako kwa mochari ya kufe huko. Tuonyeshe picha utuambie baba yako kwa mochari. I mean, it's unfair.
It is unfair.
It is unfair to do that. Wewe kama kuna baba ambaye unatamani ya kuwe leaf funeral, acha ikuwe baba yako, but not any other person's father. And I'm saying that with a lot of respect to everybody. Before you post photos of anybody and start suggesting that they are at Lee Funeral Home, just imagine that was your father. And people are saying he's at Lee Funeral Home. Baba is where the family knows he is, for all we care. Yeah. It's the same thing that was happening, but they had to react online.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff Koinange alienda wapi? Hey, Jeff disappear. He was drunk in studio. Alikuwa studio yako akiwa mlevi. Jeff used to sit in this studio. We used to do this show every Tuesday.
Yes.
Sasa wewe ujaienda studio.
Yes.
Ukahangi studio. Ujaikuwa na sisi hapa. Unasema Jeff alifutwa juu alikuwa mlevi kwa studio. Wewe alikuwa studio yenyu gani hiyo? So Jeff is okay. Jeff is at home. He took a break. He'll come back on this show.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. We miss him too. But wewe kama kuna Jeff wenyu mwenye muli manufacture kwa studio yenyu, kuna pombe yenyu iliibiwa, Jeff is okay. Stop those rumors. You'll be fine, you'll be back. Thank you.
You design Murutu.
Si unajua kuna ODM at 20 inakuja.
Yeah.
So I do not know, it is not happening tomorrow. It has a date set. Anyone who wants to know where Baba is, hiyo siku angoje. If Baba misses the 20th anniversary ODM, then I think that will be something to raise questions about kwamba this is not something Baba would miss for anything. Then where is Baba? But as it is now, hatujuangi mahali Baba anaenda kila siku. There is a time Baba took a break and we wanted him to speak, but he was humumu too, and so whether in good health or sick, whatever is happening, whatever it is, there is nothing disastrous that has happened to Baba. If that would have been the case, like Fanyamambo says, the family would have communicated.
Yeah.
And he has competent people after the family that would expound on whatever has happened to Baba. So I think we shouldn't make it such a fuss about Baba's health, and I just want to speak to those that made it a field of some tough, some twiff or something. You see, if you want to dispel a rumor, you don't have to go carelessly all out the way the Secretariat did by mentioning opposition and stuff like that, In fact, when you struggle so much to explain something, you are giving people reason to raise even more questions. It was as easy as telling people, Baba is okay, he's just traveled out of the country, he'll be back, and when he's back, everyone will know. If he feels like he needs to say, hey guys, I am here, he will say so. You do not go saying, we have noted that the so-and-so is propagating false information about the health of Baba and stuff. You make people start thinking, what is this that you are trying to say that you are not saying?
Yeah.
And that is where the Secretariat left Kenyans. And I think that is why I would blame them for having contributed to what Kenyans now went out to propagate. Because if they had taken care of the matter in
Yeah.
the way a professional would do, I don't think
We would be here.
we would be here.
Yeah.
So we wait for Baba. Baba will speak. Baba has never been shy of speaking to Kenyans whenever he thinks he needs to.
Whether Baba is well or unwell, whether young or old, he's still the king of opposition. And since the broad-based government was formed, we've seen the fire in, keeping the government in check has actually been very, very low.
No. Baba is not king of opposition.
Who's king?
Baba is king of handshakes.
They gave him officially that he's the official watermelon of Kenya.
Really?
Of the Kenyan politics. Now,
Baba.
Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is free of that title.
Okay.
Yes.
Now he's king of handshakes, and we have come to accept. Nobody does it better than him. The opposition right now is being headed by one RiggyG. He's the person who is showing us how to take Ruto home one term, one direction, one way. But also, I must speak about that letter that his secretariat wrote, blaming, the united opposition. You see, the united opposition first, as RiggyG said, is not a bacteria. They are not a virus.
Yes.
So they didn't infect Raila's body. I think it is careless of them to do that. You know, you become stupid when you start blaming your enemies for everything that happens to you. You know, even if your wife is sick, you start saying it's your enemies who've made her sick, and they don't come to your house.
Yeah.
So I'd just like to say they handled it stupidly, because if I was working in that secretariat, it's easier to write a letter and say, Raila Odinga has gone for a routine medical checkup. He's out of the country. He's well and happy. He's accompanied by his family, and he should be back in about 30 days. You know, when you do that, people will wait for 30 days. Yeah. So the doctors have recommended a 30-day stay for him, a rest period, and he's going on a nice medical procedure. He's actually even been told to be, taking a walk and so on and so forth. You are done with that rumor. But coming to blame the united opposition for saying and blaming them because they are thinking that Baba is unwell. If Baba is unwell, tell us he's unwell. He's human, okay? It's okay for Baba to be unwell. It's stupid for you to handle his ill health in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can fall sick. Even now, we can come and say Fanyamambo is unwell. He's been suddenly taken ill. He's going through a medical procedure. He'll be okay. Give him 2 weeks to recover. Give him 3 weeks to recover. Don't blame other people. Because wow, sio bacteria na wow, sio virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.